When we had last left Team Watcher, Shaky Cam, they were ready to face off against Aethys in his giant super bod of Adnua, inside of an active volcano about to be erupted by none other than the goddess Magrin. And when they did encounter him, rather than doing great and incredible battle, they traded words, where Aethys revealed his ultimate plan for not just the Deadfire archipelago, but for all of Eora. He had planned to travel to the lost city of Ukaizo, where the very wheel was created. Yes, the same wheel responsible for the modern reincarnation as it is known on Eora. And there he would destroy it, changing the entire face of the planet irrecoverably, forever. It would never change. It would never be able to go back. And so, after he had explained it, he did offer Team Watcher some last moments of reprieve from their terrible adventures, for the god knew that he was unstoppable. Nothing, not even the Watcher, could stand in his way now. And so he picked them up and took them to Nakataka in a sort of strange way. There was a giant wave crashing into him. The volcano erupted. It was wild as hell. You really missed a lot. A lot of things really happened. And so Team Watcher awoke after some really weird, trippy shit. They awoke here in the great palace of Queen Onikaza, surrounded by faction leaders of all kinds, those who were vying for power within the Deadfire archipelago, now had to come to agreements, had to come to an armistice, had to come to talk and to make peace. That is an armistice in a way. And it was up to the Watcher to decide what to do. This is Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, and shit is heating up! Let's turn back on. There we go. Now, so we do have a shitload of things to tend to right now, right? The Coming Storm is available. Let's see here. Now, we were also told of a certain book that we may or may not have anymore. Yeah, we may not have it. Let's see. Let's see here. Yes, I think this is it. Yes, I think this is exactly... Alright, General Viewer Bonsi said that we should look into this book if we do have it, because it will illuminate more regarding the main questline, right? And regarding a lot of the shit behind the wheel and just general motivations regarding the plot at large. So, I think we should open this book. I remember when we had received this, and I had thought that perhaps it was part of, like, Slayer Seeker Survivor, because I saw, like, on some of the promotional art for that DLC or expansion or whatever you would call it, there was, like, a giant fiery dude of some sort. But I think this actually has more to do with... Oh, shit. Who's all about fire? Magrin? Though it may also be Wodika, right? Because of the crown, it looks like. And Book of Law. Anyway, we're going to finally open this shit and give it a quick read, or a long read. But nonetheless, it is very pertinent. This is probably, it sounds like one of the most pertinent books to the main quest so far. Alright, Burned Book of Law. The binding of this tome reeks of smoke. What few pages remain are crinkled and black. Based on the few chapter headers that survived the fire damage, this might have been a book of antiquated laws. Now, it's nothing more than a charred relic of authority. Open
You crack
it.
the spine of the old book, revealing blackened pages of dense, illegible text. The words recede into the shadows the longer you focus on them.
Oh shit, okay.
Suddenly, the page widens to eclipse the world around you. A dark void stretches out on all sides. The air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash.
Call out. Hello? Is anyone out there? Wave to dispel the smoke. Say nothing. If we're a priest of Magrin, something can happen here. Let's wave to dispel the smoke. I think that would be my first reaction.
Something stirs in the darkness. An old woman steps forward, leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheeks warp around it like melted candle wax.
Oh, man. I have got to say, I love the interpretations of all the different gods and goddesses, and how it seems like they're all from very, vastly different cultures and places, and just everything. Like, they seem so very, I don't know, non-uniform in their portrayals, right? I really enjoy that. I don't know, just something kind of shocking about it and surprising, right? As is usually not the case with fictional pantheons of gods and goddesses. Usually there's some sort of common through line, right? But I feel like it really works here in Pillars of Eternity, especially considering what we know of them, at least so far. Anyway. Oh, this is her. I forgot how she sounds. I'm so glad. She sounds kind of stern, right? I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days, it's impossible to find good help. Woedica. Bow, my lady. Keep your distance, hag. Say nothing. Let's just say your name. Watcher. Before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you. While Barath whispers in one ear and Aethys shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise. I'm intrigued. Let's talk. What could you possibly say that I haven't heard already? So you dragged me into a blistering inferno? Yeah, out of the pan and into the fryer. Or, into the fire, not into the fryer! Was the ruse with the book really necessary? I've heard enough from the gods. Leave me be. Yeah, what was up with the book thing? For the moment, you are Barath's creature. There are rules against my direct intervention, but nothing says you cannot willingly seek my counsel. Oh. So this is almost similar to how, not too long ago, it was revealed that some of the gods were spying on us, right? Andra through Tekehu, Hylia through Ishi. Oh, here we go, yeah. Andra and Hylia toe the line of acceptable conduct from time to time, but I am nothing if not adherent to our oldest laws. Right, of course you would be. Let's see, because, yeah, right here. Goddess of justice, law, oaths, promises, rulership, vengeance, memory, and hierarchies. I'm intrigued. Let's talk. What could you possibly say that I haven't heard already? Now let's talk. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker unless a mortal is watching? What's your point? The gods are a dramatic bunch by nature. Is it? You tell me. Say nothing. Yeah, you tell me. I would never deny that our pantheon is emotional, willful, and prone to overreaction. But we didn't get this far arguing over minutia. If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now. Magrin and Andra tried their best at Ashen Maw. Ooh, it acknowledges that has happened. But I'm afraid we won't see an opportunity of that sort again. While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient, or must we return to Aora and impose some corrective measures? Go on. And if we prove ourselves, what then? Yeah, what if we prove ourselves? What, indeed? That would depend on which of us you ask. A cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance, while the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter. We're being judged. To what end? Good thing none of this will matter once Aethys destroys the wheel. Insight check. So why do I get the feeling you're trying to convince me of something? You want gods and mortals alike under your command. If we could get to the point? Let's see. We're being judged? To what end? Whichever end you deserve. Good answer. Or, not a good answer for us, but a very clever answer. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that. So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions. Oh shit. Wow, this is just going to be a massive lore dump, isn't it? Okay. I want to know more about Ukaizo. At its brightest hour, Ukaizo was the seat of an empire that dominated the continent. The Hoana kings and queens might have expanded their control even further, but we put a stop to that. The Apotheosis Project needed two resources of uncompromising importance: Luminous Adra and a multitude of souls. Ukaizo had both. What's on Ukaizo now? People act... Oh, look, yeah, we can just delve further into all of this, I think. It's presenting itself in a way that we can fully exhaust all of this and just speak to Wodika here. What's on Ukaizo now? The city stands as a memorial to a different age. Its vacant buildings and flooded streets are a crown, supporting but one jewel: the mechanism of reincarnation. Ukaizo is a city, a gravestone, a memory, and a machine. Oh, what a good line! Oh, I like that. Ooh! Ooh! All of these, like, almost... it becomes more and more wistful. It's like... Or more and more metaphorical, and then the last one is... It's just a fucking machine just as well. Alright. People act as if Ukaizo is the key to controlling the Deadfire. Ukaizo is the Deadfire's true north. Even the Hoana, who have long since forgotten Ukaizo's bearing, unconsciously turn to face it in prayer. The last emperor was fond of boasting that an army had never claimed Ukaizo by force. It was easily blinded by pride. Unfortunately, that didn't protect Ukaizo from deceivers within. We feasted and delighted the old ruler, winning his support long enough to activate our machines. From that moment, and up through the millennia that followed, Ukaizo has been ours. So your rise to godhood actually set back society's development. Within the Deadfire, yes, it was a calculated decision. The Hoana Empire didn't conform to our idea of societal perfection, and neither did its trajectory. Wow, fuck! Ha! They came close, but some unfavorable habits were woven in the fabric of their culture. This is often, so frequently, you hear about this is like an excuse for people to, like in real life, for other cultures to, I guess just generally, in all ways, in all meanings, oppress another culture, another people, because it doesn't conform to what they see as advancement or like societal perfection. It's very succinct here, I think. If the Huana wanted to prove us wrong, they were welcome to rise from the ashes of their past and embrace a future of our design. Wow! Alright, back to my other questions. Why did you choose to confide in me? Huh. She must think something is going to happen to where I get more agency, right? Or she knows. Why'd you choose to confide in me? Oh no, wait, here. There's actually one more line I missed. There's no point in mourning the bones of dead Ukaizo. What's done is done. So why me? Whether knowingly or unintentionally, you seem to find yourself on the vanguard of change. Mortals like you come but once in a lifetime. Some would react poorly if I stripped mortals of their freedom without giving them a chance to plead their case. You have the honor of standing tall as their advocate. Before I return to Aora and assume my position as your deserving tyrant, you have this opportunity to prove me wrong, to demonstrate whether or not mortals are responsible enough to claim their future. You speak as if we don't have a chance. We need order, even if it takes the form of tyranny. I see. Say nothing. Let's go with this. Let's be a little confrontational. You speak as if we don't have a chance. You speak as if you do. Fuck. Mortals have precious little time to decide for themselves. Will they stand together as one, or swallow their pride and bend the knee? I have every confidence that you will disappoint us. Once my position is upheld, the undecided among the gods will embrace my plan. The gods think my actions can prove their point about mortal society? Has your opinion of mortals changed at all? Huh. Let's see. The gods think my actions can prove their point about mortal society? Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trust it will, then I can make the plan serve me. An assertive minority of gods believe that your chances will prove the value of their wild optimism, as if mortal collaboration and ingenuity are endorsements of our leadership. Then, there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos. Fuck. I do like how fucking, like, blunt and openly, like, confrontational she is about this, and so fucking, like, sure of herself. Alright, tell me about this enlightened society you once wanted. Yeah, tell me about this ideal perfection version of society. It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Aora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society yet to come. On the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. To me, our eternal pantheon was always a critical fixture. Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic. Huh. How would you have even recognized that ideal society? A valid, self-defeating question, and one which I posed often. We assumed that they, whoever they were, would reveal themselves to us. Rational government would rule in our stead, leaving churches vacant. Thanks to Aethys, we're pulling the dough from the oven before it's had a chance to fully rise. You unfortunate bastards never had the chance to prove me wrong. Why do the other gods tolerate your opposition? Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, it is very different from me rampaging as a titan. Ooh. I really enjoy that. Oh, that distinction there. Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority. You call what Theos did subtle? That's a great fucking point. Andra dropped a moon on Aeora. What do you call that? Let's see. Yeah, let's bring up Theos. I want to hear more what she'll have to say about that than Andra. His approach was sophisticated, indirect. I owe you no explanations on the matter. Really? So, in her opinion, was the Hollowborn crisis not... Huh. I'm not sure. Because wasn't the whole point to also cause the Hollowborn crisis, or was it not? It may not have been. I can't recall now. It may have been symptomatic of Theos' other goals. Besides, you are not worthy to speak his name. Wow, I wonder how this would have gone if we had sided with her at the end of Pillars 1. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some arbitrary test. My mind is settled on the matter. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer. Doesn't this social engineering plan seem counterintuitive? What happens if someone proves you wrong? Doesn't this social engineering plan seem counterintuitive? In that they're trying to gun for specific results to see if we... Yeah, like all the meddling involved? Okay, yeah, I think I understand. Doesn't all of this seem counterintuitive? You mean gods crafting a godless world? Naturally. My siblings desired to influence mortals and steer them in a proper direction, even if that direction led to places we could not follow. I have no intention of being left behind. Society would unravel without its queen to impose strict order. What happens if someone proves you wrong? If our pantheon found that mortals had cultivated a perfect, lawful system to maturity, I would not voice a word in protest. I would merely stand aside and await the inevitable collapse. Mortals need us. I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society would be poised to collapse as long as its architects and strongest adherents were mortal. Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived, and it would fall to me to clean up after their mess. So you're right even when you're wrong. Got it. I suppose every plan needs its critics. Priest of Wotica, or Paladin the Steel Garrote. This mess, the mess in this case being mortal freedom. Say nothing. Ooh, I kind of like that just as well. The mess in this case being mortal freedom. Freedom is an unachievable illusion, heralded by the soft of heart. Only those who can find satisfaction in captivity are truly free. Fuck. Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be proven wrong. Alright, fuck me. Back to my other questions. You have learned much already. Only ask if you are ready for the truth. Has your opinion of mortals changed at all? Nothing you've done has tarnished it utterly beyond repair. You may congratulate yourself on that much, at least. I want to talk about the wheel and your rise to godhood. Now we're getting into some good shit, I think. The wheel is our shared responsibility, and each of us serves it in our own fashion. I am the axle upon which the gods balance their power. Aethys keeps the wheel in motion. He was our promise to mortals that time and labor would yield a deserving reward on the next turning of the cycle. Only now do I recognize how terribly we misplaced our trust. If Aethys destroys the wheel, mortals will have a hard time trusting gods to fix it. How did the Engwithans become gods? How exactly does the wheel function? Back to my other questions. Let's just exhaust all this. If Aethys destroys the wheel, mortals will have a hard time trusting gods to fix it. Kith are too irresponsible to know what's good for them. This is a fertile opportunity to earn their trust and subvert their highest institutions. Not that we ever needed their trust or their love. Saving them will make the work of ruling them an organizational formality. Fuck. Wow. The wheel can be remade, really. But it will take us discarding a long tradition of neutrality in favor of direct intervention. And you know what they say about old habits. How did the Engwithans become gods? Interesting that they can remake the wheel, even if Aethys destroys it. I guess the question is, how long would it take them? How did the Engwithans become gods? At the height of our power, we recognized the potential of the soul. We knew that it could be bound, split apart, diverted like a river, and hammered together. Hammering was trivial. Those of us who agreed with the Apotheosis Project, and many who did not, submitted to a violent and horrible erasure of our individuality. Really? Weird. Why did they... I'm not sure if I understand how that is. Like, their individuality as Engwithans or as the now gods? Let's see. After the dust settled, we adopted the forms of beings from Eora's most prevalent myths. There were other faiths and legends, but we labored to strike their names from history. Oh, okay, I think I understand now. So after they became gods, they remade themselves in whatever image they saw fit. How exactly does the wheel function? Much of reincarnation's mechanism exists in the idea space of the beyond. You wouldn't find a wall of cogs and levers unless we conjured one to illustrate a point. The wheel has but one material component in all of Eora, something we built to channel essence through luminous Adra and into the beyond with reliable continuity. Right, the shit on Ukaizo. You already know where it lies, Ukaizo. Before we intervened, the flow of essence was directionless, unpredictable. We succeeded in widening the gap, diverting it, giving it an efficient path to follow. Oh, this gets into what we were told about, yeah. Reincarnation existed before you, so why not just leave it alone? Before we took control of the wheel, reincarnation was error-prone, lacking forward momentum. Hollowborn were fairly common, and hardly the worst of the soul maladies. Oh, that is fascinating! Huh. Because, of course, we really... there's a lot of connections drawn between being like Hollowborn in the world of Pillars of Eternity and being like stillborn, or just any sort of birth-like complication. Like someone wishes to give birth to a child and there is some sort of awful complication that occurs along the way. Are they saying that, like, does being stillborn not exist? Does having those any of those complications, they don't exist in the world of Pillars of Eternity? There is no random chance for that to sometimes occur during a pregnancy? Huh. And the whole point of it was to fix that? Was to make it to where that never happens? Control gave us the power to strengthen the souls of intelligent kith over generations. We made you wiser, stronger, more likely to develop the society we thought you deserved. Wow, fuck. Every turning of the cycle demonstrated the righteousness of my belief. Nature begets chaos, and discipline begets perfection. So, if we're to even assume that they are, like, obviously they are very flawed, right? Even some of the gods themselves seem to recognize, like the more charitable ones, they are more charitable to mortals, to kith kind, acknowledge that, yeah, the gods do have flaws because they were once just mortals, right? So, I guess, it's just a lot of overconfidence or self-confidence that they think that they would know right in how to form a society. Because what if the reason why we fail, why like kith fail as a society, or even not necessarily every time, or why there's complications, is because of them? Like, how can we even fully say that what direction we've gone is good or not? And like also, certainly, the Ingwithans were massively fucked up, right? The Ingwithans were super fucked. So inherently, everything, like, if they see... Like, how have their views changed? I guess I should ask. How have their views, the Ingwithans' views on, like, what is their ideal version of a society, how has that changed? Or is it the same? Or is it different depending on which one of them you ask? That's what it sounds like. That latter seems like the answer. So then, was that the idea, is that multiple societies would flourish, each one sort of representing an ideal from one god or from a shared multitude of gods? But basically what I'm getting at is like, if you have someone who's shitty trying to build it in their image or like their ideal, then doesn't that mean that what they're building can also be quite prone to that same exact level of shittiness? Like, if they don't recognize their own faults, but then they see it in something else and they think that it's the fault of mortals, aren't they also partially to blame for fucking with it? Which I guess is Aethys' point, right? He wants to remove their, like, divine intervention from it. He wants more of an equal playing ground between them to see the experiment out. Fuck. Alright. I think I'm understanding it. Back to my other questions. Speak, Watcher. It isn't every day that I open myself to these communions, so spend your breath wisely. Nope, that's all for now. Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Wotica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
Wow, so we can just regularly check up in here? Because there was like a few lines that we had missed out on. Like, as we continue through the storyline, can we just regularly open up the burned Book of Law? Fuck, I'm transferring it to my inventory. Oh, I can't because it's a quest item. Alright, fair enough. I was thinking I'll just put that right there, that way I never forget about it. Let's see, if I open it up again... That display at the Kahanga Palace was shameful to witness. Nothing less than proof of why mortals require capable rulership and a strong hand. Oh shit. Oh my god, look, some more shit here. When I walk among them again, chaos of that sort won't be tolerated. Authority and temperament are non-negotiable. Onikaza wasn't exactly in a mood for compromise. You blame mortals when a god is the one sowing chaos. Most diplomats won't respond well to pirates kicking down the door. I wish I could have done more to help. Say nothing. Fuck that. If she's gonna be so fucking confrontational here, so am I. You blame mortals when a god is the one sowing chaos. And this also ties back to, like, they think that this is some perfect, untarnished experiment. Like, even she says that, yeah, the only real tarnish on the experiment is from Aethys' intervention. Which, fair enough, yeah, certainly he's changed things, but he's trying to make it to where it's more of a control, right? More of like the control group, because just through them having created the experiment in the first place, it is biased by their hand, by their creation. They are sowing their own form of fuckery up in here. Alright, you blame mortals when a god is the one sowing chaos. Aethys has done nothing but expose an existing fault, one which would have cracked even if we had let it be. My siblings took a valiant swing at Aethys, but it seems our intervention will have to wait until we've had time to gather our strength. What of you, Watcher? Your bearing is set, and Ukaizo looms on the horizon. After everything you've seen, do you believe mortals are equipped to take control of their destiny, or do they need a firmer hand? A firm hand crushed my castle. I could have done without that. Mortals have a chance, if you'd only give them time. Barath put me here, so I guess the gods are doing something, right? I kinda like that. Mortals will destroy themselves if the gods don't show true leadership. Society isn't perfect. It isn't meant to be. Oh, if only I could say, society isn't perfect, but it's still meant to be. If only I could say something like that. Let's see. I'm torn between mortals have a chance if you'd only give them time, or let's be a little shitty and say, Barath put me here, so I guess the gods are doing something right. Because then I would think that she would also have lines on regarding Barath, right? And why Barath set this into motion. Because I think I know what she would say if we were like, mortals have a chance if you'd only give them time. And she'd be like, yeah, we gave them like 2,000 years and look at where that's gotten us or some shit. So let's hear what she has to say about Barath, if anything. Barath put me here, so I guess the gods are doing something, right? Indeed, the Pallid Knight's stranglehold over you is admirable. Even she understands that mortals are best served as our pawns. Find Aethys, follow him to Ukaizo, and let my justice fill your sails. How my siblings preened and postured after the events at Hasango, but came no closer to consensus. I cannot stomach such disorder. You didn't need to reignite the Adra Lighthouse. You helped the colony knowing that Aethys was already moving toward Ukaizo. Why? The Huana are protective over the native Adra. I knew they'd appreciate it. Rawatai deserved to have the lighthouse back. Luminous Adra is no good for the Valians if it's drained of power. Payment, reward, the usual. Shrug. Oh, what was my motivation there? Well, it was definitely the for the Juana. Right? Because I totally didn't even anticipate the whole RDC situation there. And certainly I'm not rooting for the Valian trading company to start farming out our Adra again. But then again, at the same point, if they complete... Alright, it seems fucked up and kind of evil, and it probably is, but what are the after effects if the Valian Trading Company completely harvests all of the Luminous Adra? Like, doesn't that diminish the power of the gods and the power of the wheel, in a way? Like, what happens if... Like, let's fast forward the VTC's rapid expansion and do everything in favor of them. Let's accelerate that process. What the fuck happens? What happens if all that's left is the whatever is Anu Kaizo, the machine there that helps power up the reincarnation shit? What happens? Because don't souls pass through Luminous Adra and just Adra in general? What happens if it's all turned into dust and used for fucking bathing? What the fuck will happen? Huh. And doesn't that diminish their power just as well? I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I know enough about that to make a call on whether or not that's ultimately a good or bad thing. Alright, but yeah, my reasoning was that I thought the Juana would appreciate it. Now you see what can happen when mortals assemble to meet a crisis head-on. Collaboration on that scale is rare, but also unreliable. My more compassionate and optimistic siblings are no doubt overjoyed, thinking they've somehow gotten the better of me. How wrong they are. I notice my brother's frozen corner of the beyond is quieter than usual. The doors of the Veetmouth have slammed shut. Wow, she even acknowledged... I guess, yeah. Because there's no voice acting here, you can very easily just include whatever bit of writing here as they add more and more content to the game via DLC and stuff. Alright, continue. You made it out of the White Void intact. Has anything you witnessed on the other side informed your opinion of the mortal world, Watcher? I learned the extent of Ingwithan treachery from King Wingaru o Waturi I. Oh shit, so we can pick one. I saw how gods and mortals can cooperate through Wideone's eyes. Naxiva Ixcurrent showed me how time erodes one's purpose. I'm just happy to be warm again. Shrug. Say nothing. I'm ready to shit on the Ingwithans again. Let's do it. I learned the extent of Ingwithan treachery. So you have. Is it any wonder that the Juana don't pay us the same homage as the Glanfathans? Their ancestral memory is thick with resentment. Anything else? Oh, we can actually exhaust all of these. Let's do it. I saw how gods and mortals can cooperate through Wideone's eyes. If you can call that cooperation. As long as you realize that mortals are tools to serve our ends, I will not call your lesson wasted. I mean, I don't think I do consider that cooperation, because Wideone was completely fucking used. Alright, and let's go with this. Naxiva Ixcurrent showed me how time erodes one's purpose. That is only true to a point. We built the wheel to strengthen mortal essence, and every passage through the cycle enriches the life that comes after. How can that even be? Where does it draw whatever from to enrich it? Rimmergond takes a different approach. The White Void is his celebration of decay. Prisoners like Naxiva have experienced more uninterrupted memory than a single lifetime is built to contain. It's no surprise that she would fray at the seams. Anything else? I'm happy to be warm again. Of that I have little doubt. Remember what you've learned. It might not save your life, but mortals could do worse and enjoy a broadened perspective. So another of Nekataka's dirty... Oh, man, she's just going through all of our fun updates here. This is going to be the dragon, right? Underneath Nekataka. So, another of Nekataka's dirty secrets comes to light in a spectacularly dramatic fashion. You should think twice about your Huana friends if anyone pleads ignorance about the dragon beneath their streets. A dragon is not so easily hidden from the world, much less the eyes of royalty. I'll keep that in mind. Outsiders put the Huana in an impossible position. They compromise their ethics to survive. Say nothing. Certainly they did compromise their ethics to survive, which I think is unfortunate, but completely understandable, right? I mean, if you're fucking being beaten to shit, why wouldn't you? I can totally understand why you would grasp at any straws you could take in order to fucking hold on. Yeah. Let's go with that. The Huana think the diminishing of their oldest talent is a test from the gods. They couldn't be more wrong. Everything they do is a test, and we observe closely. And yet you allowed the beast to hunt the sky again. Was its freedom worth the price of an orderly, balanced society? Think on that. So, you killed that upstart pirate and put an end to his delusions of grandeur. Bravo. Who? I thought I might chide you for slaying a ruthless and effective leader, but something about your righteous vengeance always brings a smile to my face. Oh, is she talking about the slave trader? The main dude hanging out at Crookspur, and how I gunned him down? I am beginning to question my trust in you, Watcher. This is a sacred communion, and your conduct is beneath any acceptable standard. Even though you are living up to my admittedly low expectations of mortals, know that I am displeased. That is a dangerous way to approach me. Sorry, Wodaka, I'll try and do better, or try and be better. Just doing my job. You have no power over me, I owe you nothing. Slam the book shut, say nothing. Let's see. I'm kind of tempted to just say, just doing my job. Let's go with that. Take care with your words and actions. I'm not in the habit of offering second chances. Oh, okay, look, here we can go back through all this again. What was that one where we could have also brought up Andra and the moon? Let's see, where was that at? Was that under this? Let's see if we can't quickly get to it. Let's see. Do the gods tolerate your opposition?
Everet is not known for subtlety.
Whoa!
Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority.
What? Why was that one voice acted all of a sudden? Earlier it was not. Oh my god, is this a bug? Are there actually voice files in the game for all of this, and just for some reason it's bugged out? Because this is like a very non-standard way of entering conversation? Oh my god, I bet one of the, like... Because there's no way just that one line would be in there. I could see maybe, like, DLC stuff, but certainly stuff from the core game you would imagine is in here. Holy shit, there must be some kind of fucking weird-ass bug that's not causing it to activate. Wow! We've discovered something. Alright. Either that or it got left in there by accident. One or the other. Either all of it's in there, and for some reason it's not activating properly, or one of them got left in there when they pulled it all out because they thought, oh, we can't manage to fit all of it in there and recontact this voice actress for each and everything that we add to the game, right? Let's see. Counterintuitive. Let's see. No. What happens if someone proves you wrong?
Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived. And it would fall to me to clean up after their mess.
That is wild. Alright. Ideal society. Back to my other questions. Has your opinion... No, because that didn't get us anything. More about Ukaizo. Okay. Setback society's development. No, people act as if controlling Deadfire is key. No, what's on Ukaizo now? We know. Has your opinion changed at all? No. Okay. Let's see. If Aethys destroys the wheel... How did Ingwithans become gods? How exactly does the wheel function? Reincarnation existed before? No, okay, we can't get back to that one line where we could also talk about Andra.
Wotica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
Alright. Man, that is wild. Alright. There's so much juicy shit inside that fucking book. Holy hell. Alright. Yeah, so clearly we need to check on that after... I guess we need to try and remember to do it after every single step of the main quest, and certainly after every DLC, right? Fortunately, it doesn't, like, activate a huge-ass load screen, which may also be part of the problem as to why it can't configure itself to play all the voice lines, right? Because there was, like, 2 or 3 more that played, right? In addition to that first one. Okay. Well, holy shit, we haven't moved a single fucking inch here. But we have learned so much, right? Fuck. When next we come back, this very much reminds me, I forgot where it was in Pillars 1, where we stayed in like one little confined area for a very long ass time, just talking to a shitload of people and hardly moving anywhere, but getting a lot of world building and lore, right? To which we could more properly respond to the main story and all that, right? Okay. Well, when next we come back, we will finally speak to Takehu, who needs to speak to us, and we'll talk to some of these other people, and I'm sure there will be plenty more all over the place, either inside of the palace or outside. We'll have to sail around, do that stuff, and probably once we depart Nekataka, the 2 other DLCs, Slayer, Seeker, Survivor, and, the Lost, Forgotten, whatever it was with the many eyes, will unlock just as well, and we'll get on with that. Whew! Oh my god. So much is happening. Until next time, please take care of each other.